All right, good morning and welcome to Workout Wednesday. My name's Katie and I am Run Local's community manager and coach, and it's great to connect with you guys virtually today. In today's Workout Wednesday installment, we're going to be focusing on mobility and restoration for runners. And why is this important to our running? Well, as we increase our mobility, we will also be increasing our range of motion. And as we start to increase and improve our flexibility, we're going to be creating more length and limberness in our muscles. And when we incorporate restorative movements into our routine, that's going to really help us connect our minds to our bodies. So all of those things, how they relate to our running, they're going to help prevent injury. They're going to help boost our performance potential. And they're also going to leave our body feeling really fabulous for our next run. Okay, so today in our mobility session, we are going to have a focus specifically on our hamstrings, our hips, and our heart. And you should probably be thinking that your hamstrings and your hips could absolutely use a little bit of love today, all right? We'll be starting with a flow of dynamic moving stretches to safely warm up our muscles. And then we'll be finishing today with some static held stretches. And that's the same thing that you should try to mimic in your own warm-up and cool-down routine. So before our run is where we want to do dynamic moving stretches to safely warm the muscles up without getting injured. And then at the end, post-run, that's when you want to save those deeper static held stretches, okay? So we're going to be going through a series of some 2-minute flows that I hope that you can kind of borrow bits and pieces of. And then we'll do our static stretches at the end. So hopefully you can incorporate some of these flows and some of these movements into your pre and your post run routine moving forward, okay? You may also find that as you age, your need for a proper warm-up and cool-down becomes even more essential, okay? So keep that in mind. If you're not currently taking time to warm up and cool down, you might want to use some of these movements to do that. Or you might want to just also keep this 30-minute routine as something that you do on one of your recovery days or active rest days. All right, so today, all you're going to need is a mat, and you have the option to complete the sequence either with or without shoes, whatever feels right for you, okay? So, happy Workout Wednesday. Let's start to flow. We're going to spend about 3 to 4 minutes just warming up and doing some really simple warm-up dynamic stretches, okay? So let's get started. Hopefully you guys are having a great day, and it's awesome to connect with you guys again virtually. All right, so wherever you are, let's go ahead and stand up. Let's take our feet underneath our hips and stack ourselves up vertically. From here, just take a nice deep inhale, reach your arms above your head, find your tallest posture, and then exhale and let your arms relax to your sides. Again, let's inhale up, thinking about standing tall, stacking yourself up, and exhaling. All right, team, let's inhale up and let's press our palms together at the top. And let's take a nice lean. So just keep your feet firmly planted into the earth. Stretch through the outer edges of your body. Let's go to the other side, up and over. Opening up your rib cage and breathing back to the center. Exhale, arms to your sides. Let's give the head and the neck a little bit of love. So just lean to one side, head towards the shoulder, other side, up and over. It might feel good to also incorporate some head circles. All right, let's move to the shoulders. A couple of nice big shoulder rolls up and down, letting go of any stress that you're holding on to today, letting go of any tightness in the upper body. All right. Now, let's swing the arms across the body, opening the chest, and then squeezing between the shoulder blades. Okay, so this should feel so good, waking up the body today. All right, let's swing the arms forward and back. And just let go of some things today. Maybe let go of some anxiety, some stress, maybe some fear that you've been holding. Let's just let that go. All right, team, let's move to the legs. We're gonna do a standing hip opener stretch, up and around. Lift the knee, draw a circle. We're opening up the hips. This should also feel amazing. This is a wonderful pre-run movement right here. Standing hip opener. Just draw a little semicircle up and around. All right, team, let's go forward and back with some leg swings. Try to keep your hips square and a little squeeze through the glute during this movement. Keep a soft bend in your standing leg and switch. So your muscles should be starting to feel a little bit more warm. You should feel good. All right, let's take it side to side. Lateral swings. Other side. All right, so that should have felt so amazing. Those are really awesome, simple movements that you can do before your run to warm yourself up. Let's take it right into our next 2-minute mobility flow. Just come with me. We're gonna start with a nice big inhale up. And then as you exhale, we're going to inchworm forward. So just walk yourself out to a nice strong plank position. From here, we're going to push into down dog, and we're going to tap the opposite hand to the opposite toe, and then bring yourself back out, brace the belly. Let's go again. Push back, reach to the opposite toe, come back to plank. Push back to down dog now, and think about pushing your heels towards the ground. This is a really awesome stretch for your hamstrings. All right, now let's walk the dog. You're gonna alternate pressing one heel down at a time to give a little more love to your calves. All right, team, let's come back forward to plank, and let's walk ourselves bit by bit back up to standing. Beautiful sequence to warm up the hamstrings. Let's keep going. Tip forward, walk yourself out to plank. From here, push back to down dog, reach to the opposite toe, come back forward to plank. Same thing again, reach to the opposite foot. Bring yourself forward. Push back to down dog, and this time, walking the dog, one heel presses down at a time, giving some love to those tight calves. All right, let's take an inhale. Come back into that plank, and then walk yourself inch by inch back up. Awesome. Take a big step wide now in your space, and we're going to continue to give some love to those hamstrings. I want you to keep yourself in a really wide squat, toes pointed out slightly. And I want you to sit your hips back into a nice big squat as you reach your arms forward. Lift your heart, brace your belly, and on your next exhale, you're gonna hinge forward from your hip, and you're gonna lift your tailbone towards the sky. You're gonna get a really nice hamstring release here. And now on your next inhale, sit your hips back, come back to that squat, lift your arms in front of you. This is our next flow. We're going to go through this sequence for 2 minutes. And remember, go deep enough that's right for you in these stretches, but make sure nothing is uncomfortable. This is all about restoration. Tip forward, give me that wide forward fold. Let your head drop between the legs. Lift the tailbone up, feel the stretch in the hamstrings. And then inhale, come back to that squat, reach your arms forward, open your heart, connect your mind, your body, and your breathing. Exhale, tip forward, find that nice forward fold. Inhale, come back to squat. Nice job. Tip forward, find that fold. Stretch out the back of the legs. Inhale, show me that squat. Start really connecting. Movement, body, mind. Tip forward, stretch the back of the legs. Inhale. This time, let's rise all the way back up to standing. Awesome, guys. Hope you're doing great. Let's bring our feet under our hips, and we're going to go into our next 2-minute flow. So I want you to take one leg, take a big step forward, come down into a lunge. You can be on your knees if that's easier for you, or you can remain in a standing position. Now I want you to rotate into a lunge twist. So you're turning towards your front leg, stacking your shoulders. Front leg is 90 degrees. All right, let's come back to the center and push yourself back to a down dog position here. Now from here, just come to knees. Bring your knees out wide and sink back into a child's pose. All right, team, come back up. Go into your down dog position. Step forward with your opposite leg. Make sure the knee is over the ankle. Rotate into that lunge twist. So you should be noticing that now you're feeling a little more focus in your hips. Okay, let's come back to center. Step back to that down dog. Press the heels towards the earth. Then bring the knees to the ground. Nice and wide. Push your hips back and down and sink into that child's pose. Fantastic. Let's lift back up. Find your down dog. Press the heels down. Give the back of the body a stretch. Step the opposite leg through. Feel this stretch in the hips. Twisting lunge. And a little bit of mobility work for your spine here. Come back to center. Press back. Down dog. Come to your knees. Find your glorious child's pose. This is wonderful restoration position. And come back up. Awesome. All right, we're going to do another 2-minute flow before we switch things up. So hopefully you're feeling warm and wonderful. Let's go ahead and stand up. We're going to be moving laterally a little bit here. So I'd like you to take a big step to the side. Come into a nice low lateral lunge. We're stretching out through the hip and the adductor, the inner thigh. If that's too low, you can come here. Okay, now we're going to push back to center. And with the same leg, you're going to take a big step back. Come down into lunge. Inhale up, and here comes a nice, beautiful hip stretch. Lean towards the front leg. Create a long line from your hip to your fingertips. Option, rest your back knee on the ground. Okay, let's release, step in, repeat on the other side. Big step out, sink down into that nice, deep lateral lunge. Option is here if you need it. Push back to the center, same leg, steps back. Lunge and inhale, and find that reach. So here, I want you to create space and length in the side of your body from your hip to your fingertips. Your legs are 90 degrees. Release, step in, repeat. So again, these are a flow of movement. So we want to feel the stretch, but then we want to keep on moving. Step back, inhale, up and over. Nicely done. Now, if you start to master the movements, you can choose a tempo that's right for you. So maybe you want to go faster or slower than me. It's all good. Just feel the movements, focus focus on the hips during this sequence. Connect your mind, your body, and your breath. Should feel good. Awesome work. Back to center. All right, that was wonderful. Okay, so those were our first 4 2-minute flows, and they should have felt wonderful and smooth, and that's something that you can absolutely incorporate in a warm-up before you head out the door for your next run. Okay, we're going to get a little bit deeper into the hips in the next section of our mobility workout today. So we're going to be doing what I call a hip pyramid, where we're going to be building from 1 movement to 2 to 3 to 4, and then we're going to go back down the other side of the pyramid, okay? We're going to be spending about 25 seconds on each movement, all right? And so we're thinking now about getting a little bit deeper into the stretches, and all of these are going to be seated or lying, so we're coming off of our legs for the time being. Okay, so just come with me. I'll show you the movements. And again, pick the depth of these stretches that's right for you so that you feel the stretch, but it feels more restorative than painful. Okay, so you don't want to go so deep that something feels uncomfortable. Today is all about feeling comfortable and warm and flowing through these movements, okay? So let's keep going. Go ahead and have a seat on your mat. Okay, take your feet wide. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, and we're going to be starting this pyramid with some seated windshield wipers. Okay, these are going to feel really good for your hips, and what we're going to be doing is dropping our knees from side to side for 25 seconds, okay? So just here, let your knees drop to the side, heel kind of connects to the opposite knee, and then switch windshield wiper to the other side. Now, if you can't get your knees all the way to the ground, that's okay. Just do the range of motion for these stretches that feels right for you. And I'd like you to breathe. All right, so let's take a little break. We're gonna do that same movement again, but we're gonna add a second movement, some lying knee to chest stretches, okay? So let's go back to those windshield wipers for another 25 seconds, okay? Let's begin, side to side. Now, if you're feeling good, you can go a little deeper into this. Notice that I'm moving now my chest forward over the front leg. So if you do want a little more, come with me here. All right, it feels so good for the hips. All right, let's lay down. We're adding on. Knee to chest stretch, and then switch. And again, you also want to feel that connection here in your glutes. Lift the knee in, squeeze, and release. And you're just alternating legs here. All right, let's go ahead and sit up. Okay, so we're going to do those 2 movements again, but we're going to add on at the end some lying butterfly stretches. Okay, each movement, 25 seconds. All right, so we're building the pyramid. 3 stretches coming. Let's begin with the windshield wipers. Okay, remember, if you want more, bring the chest forward over the front leg. Good, so feeling this in the hips and also some activation through the glute. Okay, so those lying knee to chest stretches. Okay, so lay down. Keep yourself firmly planted on your mat and alternate bringing one knee into the chest. And again, pick a tempo that's right for you, but make sure that you're feeling the stretch. Coming up next, lying butterflies. Okay, team, so put your heels together, lift your knees and lower down. Lift your knees in, then open wide. Now, go as low as it feels right for you. Good. Knees up, and then open. Good job. I'll give you another knee too. All right, let's take a quick break. All right, so we've got our 3 movements. We're adding our final 4th movement at the end of this, where we're gonna be doing some single leg raises. All right, so let's get ready for the windshield wipers. Ready? Side to side, drop the knees, up and over other side. So again, this is just a flow of dynamic movements to really lubricate and stretch the hips and to activate the glutes. Good work, guys. It should feel so good. Hope you're enjoying it. Okay, lying leg, knee to chest, and then switch. Next movement is going to be those lying butterflies. Really good hip opening stretch. Okay, so feet together, open the hips, bring the knees back in. Okay, so find the range of motion where you're at comfortably today. And know that the more we do this, that range of motion will increase with time. So just go where you can today. All right, guys, last stretch. Lay both legs out. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Okay, so this really we want this to originate from the hips and the glutes. Lift and lower. Your lower back is firmly pushed to the ground. All right. So those were all 4 movements in progression. So now we're going to start stripping it down, and we're just going to do 3. We're going to start with the knee to chest. Okay, so go ahead and lay back down. Extend your legs out long. All right, guys, knee to chest, pull it in, and switch. Now start to really connect your breathing to the movement. Think about how your body feels. Try to identify spots that feel especially tight. All right, let's move into those butterflies. Knees in, hips open. So think about how your hips feel today. Do you need to spend more time on mobility with your hips? Do you feel tightness here that's uncomfortable? All right, leg raises, one at a time. Oh, it feels so good. Remember, you want to feel this as you lift, coming from your hips and your glutes. All right, team, little break. All right, we're coming down the other side of the pyramid now. So this is such a great lesson to treat your body to some forgiving movements from time to time. We're going to start with the butterfly. Okay, ready? Knees come up and then open. All right, team, lying leg raises. Pick a tempo that feels great for you and enjoy. All right, take a little breather. Open up your heart. Take some nice full breaths. We have one more 25-second leg raise. Okay? Let's lay back down. Last time. All right, team. Lift and release. Go ahead and keep your foot flexed during this movement. Squeeze the glutes. Feel the movement coming from the hips. All right. Nice. Okay, we're going to take it into one more 2-minute flow. All right, and then we'll finish with some deeper static stretches. All right, so let's come onto our hands and our knees. And we're going to start with a cat-cow. So you're going to tuck and round your back. And then you're going to exhale and flatten the spine. Now, opposite arm, opposite leg. Let's extend out. And now let's squeeze the elbow to the knee and then extend back out. Okay, let's switch to the other side. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Squeeze elbow to knee. Reach back out. Now, next movement is a hydrant. Lift your knee out from your hip. Leg stays 90 degrees, other side. All right, team, that's our flow. One cat, one cow, opposite arm, opposite leg, squeeze. Switch to the opposite side, bracing the core here. Now opening up the leg into the hydrant. Continue the flow. Cat, cow, extend, squeeze, extend and switch. Now lift and open the hip, squeeze the glute, other side. Cat, cow, round the back, flatten the spine. Awesome. Okay. So your movement and your muscles should feel nice and warm and fuzzy now. Okay, so now that we're fully warm, we're just gonna take 2 minutes at the end of today's session and do some deeper static stretches. These are things that I would encourage you to do post-run, okay? So everything that we've done so far would be a wonderful pre-run warm-up or just a separate mobility day for yourself, an active recovery day. All right, these last 2 stretches are things that I would recommend that you do after your run when you're fully warmed up. The next one is going to be a very low squat called a sumo squat. This is gonna feel different for each person based on your hip flexibility. Okay, so I encourage you to just do what you can today and know that this stretch is something that is kind of a journey. Okay, so the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll be at it and the better you'll be at it. So just do what you can. We're gonna be holding the stretch for about a minute, which is a fairly long time. We are gonna move a little bit in the stretch, but if you don't wanna stay in the stretch that long, please do what's right for you today. So you might wanna get in it for 20 seconds at a time, and then maybe take it back into that child's pose stretch. Give yourself a little break and then return to the squat position when it feels right, okay? So we've got a minute together where we're gonna explore our flexibility and see how this stretch feels for one another, all right? So let's get started here. You're gonna take your feet wide, toes out slightly, and we're gonna come all the way down into a nice low squat. So we're sinking our hips down, and think about using your arms to open up your knees and your hips. Now you can choose where you like your hands. So if you'd like, you can kind of keep them right here on the ground, or you can use them as leverage to kind of push out, pressing your hands together in the center. Okay, so this is really deep focused attention for your hips. Now, if you want, you can kind of explore a little bit of movement in here. Okay, so if staying completely still doesn't feel right, just move. And if you're thinking, ooh, a little bit too much, you can come into a child's pose. Awesome. All right, guys, so we're gonna breathe for about another 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Come into that child's pose stretch and just let that go. All right, guys, one more static stretch to share with you, which is one that I personally love. Okay, so this is called legs up the wall. It might be something that you've already experienced, and it is a wonderful recovery tool for runners, all right? Especially when you come off of a day where you've got really sore legs. Even if it's just a day where you've just spent a lot of time on your feet, if some of you have a job where you work on your feet all day, this is a wonderful restorative stretch, okay? So you are gonna need a wall. I'm gonna show you kind of right in the middle of the space here so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'll move over and we can go to a wall together. Again, we're gonna hold it for a minute. But essentially what you're doing is laying down and getting your legs up on a wall and just letting everything else hang and relax and getting all of the stretch, letting the blood come down. All right, so I'm gonna move us over, so just stay tuned. We're gonna go on a little trip here together. All right. Okay, so last minute together. It's a little bit dark, isn't it? Okay, so last minute together, we're gonna do that legs up the wall stretch. And again, do it for as much of the minute as feels right for you. Okay, so find your wall, okay? So if you had to take a little time to find your own wall, it's all good. Okay, and you're gonna lift your legs, come closer you guys, up the wall, scoot your butt as close to it as you can. Might take a little bit of maneuvering. So try to get your butt and your hips as close to the wall as possible, and then just relax. Feels so good. And breathe. All right, team, safely come out of that. All right, hopefully you enjoyed that last one. All right, team, so that's just a really simple 30-minute mobility flow, some basic movements that I think will really aid in your mobility, flexibility, restoration, recovery. Remember that we're only as good as we recover. So if you're hammering hard all the time, you're probably gonna eventually increase your risk of injury. And you also might just burn out or break down, right? So it doesn't all have to be hard grind. Remember to take the time for restoration. Your body, your mind, your heart will thank you. And I hope you enjoyed today's session. We would love to hear from you. What would you like more of? Would you like to see other types of workouts? Would you like more of something? Would you like a new topic covered? Reach out to us and share your feedback at info@runlocalevents.com. All right, so happy Workout Wednesday again. I'm Katie, Run Local's community manager and coach, connecting with you guys virtually. Thank you so much. I hope you're really enjoying this time to interact and to move our bodies together. I know I have. And have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Thanks for tuning in.